Dear students, welcome to the class of International Politics. Today, in this session, I will try to summarize the main points in Chapter 3, International Politics and Regionalism. And before we start, let's have a look at the learning outcomes. By the end of this chapter, you will be able to understand what region means and includes, get knowledge about regionalism in theoretical level, comprehend regional cooperation, regional integration, and regional unity, and understand regionalization, know regional organizations and their functions in international politics. You will also know regional political organizations, and finally, you will be able to comprehend regional economic organizations. Actually, the concept of region has generally occupied an important position in social sciences. It has been defined as a space between the national and the local, primarily within particular states. These types of regions are referred to as microregions, and they can exist within a special state or be cross-border naturally. The concept of region also shows macroregions, which are larger territorial units or subsystems between the state and the level of global system. There are also mesoregions, and they are mid-range states or non-state arrangements and processes between the two levels. Actually, region is often defined as a group of countries located in the same geographically specified area. However, a region implies more than physical proximity among the constituent states. Members of a common region also share cultural, economic, linguistic, or political ties. So, regions can be sorted such types of regions as physical geographic regions, cultural regions, economic regions, administrative regions, political regions, and security regions. Under the conceptual framework, we should also have a look at what regional policy is. Regional policy is defined as a set of agreed and organized measures for ensuring development across certain territory, traditionally nation-state. And it also attempts to make corrections in free market economy for attainment of two interrelated objectives: improved social distribution and economic growth. Here, European Union's regional policy can be given as an example. As you know, European Union supports job competitiveness, creation, economic growth, improved quality of life, and sustainable development. So here, in the example of European Union regional policy, aims to reduce the significant economic, social, and territorial problems that still exist between Europe's regions. And here, under the conceptual framework, we should also differentiate what regionalism and regionalization are. Regionalism, defined as a theory or practice of being regional rather than being central in the level of system, administration, or economic, cultural, or political affiliation, is a prominent trend in the field of regional or systematic studies. And regionalization can be defined as akin to nation building, and regionalism can be defined as a process of identity construction akin to nationalism. The resurrection and redefinition of regionalism are among the prominent trends in the international studies of the present times. Regionalism has been brought back into the academic studies as well as the policy debates after some decades of neglect. And we should also talk about regional integration and regionalism. Integration brings about the idea of unification along legal, political, economic lines, like between the members and candidates of European Union. And regionalism brings about the idea of diversification, regions as actors. Actually, these concepts may theoretically seem contradictory. However, there is a great deal of coherence and compatibility between these two processes. Additionally, integration may increase regionalization and the process of regionalization. New regionalism is shaped by changes in the international context and, above all, the emerging international and continental regimes. Sorry. And regional integration provides the environment for the development of new regionalism. In other words, new regionalism is an outcome of regional integration. And here in this picture you can see the regions of the world. And now let's have a look at regional organizations. These organizations emerge from a feeling of integration and commonness. The feeling of regionalism may arise either due to a continuous neglect of a particular area or region by the ruling authorities, and it may spring up as a result of increasing political awareness of backward people who have been discriminated against. And here you can see the list of the regional organizations. Actually, as some of them still protect its entity, some have been obliged to be extinct because of some economic, financial, and political reasons. And here, the most effective element in its survival is financial factors. In the literature, we can see several types of categorization. However, one of the widespread classification is security, economy, and integration. As I said before, this table shows a list of the most prominent regional organizations. And we state European Union, North American Free Trade Agreement, Economic Cooperation Organization, and North Atlantic Treaty Organization as the most influenced ones. And as we see in the list, they can function in many fields of action and they can have different aims, objectives, and tasks. So, regional organizations can be divided into their functions as follows: regional political organizations, regional economic organizations, and regional security organizations. And here on this slide, you see some regional political organizations. For example, European Union as a political regional organization is set up with the aim of ending the frequent and bloody wars between neighbors in Europe. And also the Organization of Islamic Cooperation as a political regional organization is the second largest intergovernmental organization after the United Nations, of course. So with its membership of 57 states that spread over 4 continents. And this organization tries to protect the interests of the Muslim world within the spirit of promoting international peace, welfare, and harmony among the peoples of the world. And here on this slide, you see regional economic organizations. And to the regional security organizations, you can see the names of several organizations. And as you know, security in the present times is key to people's well-being. NATO, and its purpose is to guarantee the freedom and security of its members through political and military means and in security. And dear students, so far in this chapter, we talked about the conceptual framework and we defined region, regionalism and regionalization. And we also talked about regional organizations and categorization of regional organizations. That's all for today. See you next chapter.